I started taking this channel seriously about 3 or 4 years ago. At that point, I had quite a bit of experience doing audio recording as I had a home studio, but I had much less experience working with video. I was doing some product demos for a major guitar company at that time, so I was comfortable enough in front of a camera, but the actual videography, I had zero experience. And unfortunately, it shows in a video I did regarding a set of Fender Noiseless pickups. This thing is a visual disaster. First of all, I was living in a different house and I had a room reserved for my studio and for filming videos. Now, based on the hideous backdrop I created, I severely underestimated the visual importance of a filming environment. I mean, look at this. I randomly threw up black foam on the walls with no rhyme or reason. Now, the room may have been acoustically treated for recording, but on camera, well, I could have found a more visually appealing way of treating the room. The other major problem was I only had 2 cameras at the time, and they were of different brands and different quality. And you can clearly see the difference when I would cut from one camera to the other. Rookie move. And what was I wearing? Now, the problem is I like what I played in the video. The playing is okay, and I like the backing track that I created. The video also serves its original purpose, which was to show what the Fender Noiseless pickups sound like in this guitar right here. However, I am not thrilled of the terrible visual aspect that accompanies the playing and the fact that I am tied to this shoddy video production. So I decided to redo the video. Now that I am a somewhat more seasoned videographer and have moved into the studio in my current home, I know that I can produce a video on par with what I have been filming in the past year or so. So the game plan was to first recreate the backing track, maybe even improve on it, relearn the solo, and then capture it on film in my current studio with my current cameras, wearing my YouTube uniform. This would make me happy. However, issue number 1 reared its ugly head when I realized I no longer had the original session for the song. It must be on a hard drive which got lost in the move. Not good. So I needed to redo that backing track from scratch. However, I knew this would not work unless I could create a backing track as good, if not better, than the original. The original backing track I found had a great vibe that I really liked. Now, I had programmed the drums on the original, so I got to work on reproducing the drum track first, but I could not reproduce them accurately. Most of what I do is on the fly, I work quickly, and I just could not match the sound or the groove that I had originally programmed. Then it hit me. You know what? I'm just going to improve upon the drum part by contacting a drummer friend of mine and have him record an actual drum part for the track. His name is Mario Tolero. Him and I go way back, and he has a home studio where he tracks drums for clients. So first I had to see if he had the time and willingness to track drums for this tiny, insignificant project. So I drafted my email. I asked Mario if he was free in the next week to record a quick drum track for me. He said that he could get to it later on in the week, and of course, the very next day, the MP3 was in my inbox for approval. I approved it, it was perfect, and then he sent me the stems to import into my session. After that, I got to work on playing the bass part, and then learning and recording the rhythm guitar part from the original video, laying down a simple Fender Rhodes part, and then I set out to learn and memorize the original solo. Once the solo was memorized, I was ready to film the finished product, which I will show you now. If you would like to learn this solo note for note, I have transcribed it and made the tabs available for download from my website, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. Okay, now let's take a look at the final redone video.